Listen, we got to discuss breaking news involving Shedeur Sanders. We all know Shedeur Sanders is NFL bound, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, he had an emphatic statement today during his press conference. He stated that if you are not trying to change the franchise or the culture, do not get him. You think I'm worried about what critics say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. He talked about going through six offensive coaches, you know, offensive coordinators, part of me. It's just like I said, there's a lot of situations that's going on with Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders doesn't get enough credit for him revitalizing two programs, really just shaking it up. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, with Colorado now that Shedeur is not at the helm. But what I will tell you is this: Shedeur Sanders just laid a bar. He's gonna have teams seriously in a tough spot right now because what if he lives up to everything, which I believe that he will. I think that this is a different kind of dynamic compared to other situations. I don't know, with this black, well, I mean, look like with this color, the orange, I'm feeling a little Cleveland brownish. I want him to go to New York, obviously. If you Tennessee, after you hearing that, we don't know what they're gonna do. It's gonna be interesting, but Shedeur Sanders, you gotta, if you heard this, if you are for one of these teams, you really are zeroing in on this guy because the proof is in the pudding. We could look at Cam and things of that nature, and you know we know what you're gonna get when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. Like in Jackson State, the man was electric. What he did at Colorado was just a movie. It's real crazy if because Travis got hurt that first year. I really wish we would have been able to see them healthy through those 2 years, but the offensive line really was horrendous. I mean, that was an ongoing situation. Uh, he's received nothing but real good NFL tutelage. We all know Tom Brady's involved in this situation. Tom has been there's been a major influence and aid for Shedeur Sanders. This is what you're gonna need if you are Shedeur, especially because there's gonna be a target on his back. So that was definitely a big time statement that I wanted to say. He said he's done it over and over, so it should be no question why NFL franchise should pick him. You know, more quotes. He says, "I would say being a leader, that's my best trait overall because everything is mental. So if I play my game from the neck up, I got to be able to adjust to my players to have them have um, he says, for them to get to know me, for us to make everything smooth. I come from a HBCU and they went to a Power Four conference, and those two types of different players, and it's very diverse and getting to know people, talk people, and making everything genuine." This is what Shedeur Sanders said. Also, he says that's why when I'm here interacting with people, I love interacting with people so they can truly get to know me and not just know clicks or anything like that. So he's letting it be known he's a real person. He's really focused. We all know he's cut from that cloth. So it's real. He said it's extremely important to keep your mental in the place because that's where my game is played. My game is not played from my legs, not even just my arms. So I know longevity, the all time greats, that's what Tom Brady's best trait, his mental. He's able to think. So if you have those traits of greatness and I know where I'm headed, then why wouldn't a franchise pick me? You've got the ultimate cheat code. So, Shador is gonna have some tough competition here because a lot of people do like Miami's Cam Ward. These two are seeming like they are going head to head here in terms of the quarterbacks. We all know Travis, the generational talent. Let's not leave him out of this. Um, Cam Ward and Shedeur both are elected not to throw headed into the draft. So I mean, it's tough. Nobody wants to interfere with their position, and clearly these will be the top two quarterbacks taken. And I think both teams, whoever get any of them, should be happy and will be happy. I think both teams both players can revitalize the programs that they could be headed to. Um, let's see what happens. It shouldn't be a situation where the teams don't draft them because of Deion Sanders. I think that would just be utterly ridiculous if that was the case. If Deion Sanders, you know, is the reason why teams want to back off of Shedeur, they will be making a terrible mistake. Deion Sanders is, a plus in my opinion, and I believe that's a fact. I think that these teams they should reach out to Dion when they draft Shedeur, who was his coach. We get caught up with the daddy and this and that. At the end of the day, Deion Sanders has been coaching Shedeur for an extended period of time here now. So his words is really valuable, and these coaches and organizations need to do the right thing. A lot of people thought that maybe Deion Sanders was headed to the NFL alongside of all of these guys, but Deion seems to have proven everybody wrong. You've seen him take the Cowboys interviews and things like that. That drew a lot of shockwaves. We don't know who, pardon me, we don't know who could swoop in and trade up, for Shedeur Sanders. I would be shocked if that did happen. I'm hearing Micah Parsons could be on the table. We're going to get into that as well. Make sure you hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. It's Flight Sports, because this draft is going to be real crazy. And wherever Shedeur Sanders lands, listen, we will be bringing you nonstop coverage, news, updates, and more. I want him in New York with the Giants, but something is telling me Cleveland. I'm telling you, and if you Cleveland, I'm gonna get into this as well in my next situation. This is very reminiscent, and I'm wondering if they may back off from Shedeur, but I don't think so. It's very reminiscent of Johnny Manziel. Clearly, Shedeur is on another level, but I'm gonna close with this. Look what Shedeur just said. If a team wants to draft me, if you don't want to change the organization, don't draft him. You remember that text that Johnny Manziel sent to Cleveland, talking about let's wreck the league. So I think Cleveland, things is coming around full circle. But I think when they draft Shedeur, they got the right pick. It's Flight Sports. Make sure you hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. Peace and